Hello everybody, it's Eniola, and today I am starting my first video of my new series that I've decided to do, which is called Encouraging Drives with Eniola. And basically in these episodes and in this series, I will be doing drive with me's or being stationary in my car like today, and will give encouragement on different topics. This will also be influenced by verses in the Bible and will be biblical as well. Today the topic for the episode will be fear and worry. I hope you guys enjoy the video and let's get into it. Worry is not going to change the outcome of your situation. Whether you worry or not, the outcome is going to be the exact same. So you might as well choose not to worry and not to lose your sleep, not to lose so many hours worrying about a situation or something that's happened. Well, it's so easy to say don't worry, isn't it? But how can we actually practically try not to worry? Well, the first thing we can do is stop trying to control things that are out of our control. That is something unconsciously, subconsciously we do all the time, which increases anxiety within us. There are so many things that we can't control, and there's also things we can control. For example, our actions, what we're doing right now, who we choose to be today. We can control those things. But what we can't control is the future or other people's actions or a result you're going to get in an exam that you've already submitted. These things we can't control. So once we've done our hardest and done our best to do something, we need to let go. It's so important to let go of control. Let go of trying to control the future. Let go of trying to control someone else. Let go of it, because we're not meant to control those things, and that's why it's out of our control. We're not meant to control those things. And then as a result of that, you start to let go of trying to be so possessive or in control of the future and things in the future that we can do nothing about. A very common cause, which I've already talked about, is the future, about anxiety and worry. That in particular is something that we worry about that we can't control. And you know, an example I can use of this in my life is uni, my whole uni experience. It's crazy because from the second you get into secondary school, or like maybe year 9, halfway secondary school, you're prepped for your GCSEs, which will then help you get into sixth form or college, or sixth form is what they mainly pushed, which will then all prepare you for university. So you're prepped at that young age to try get into university. And you're stressed about grades and all of that. Am I going to get good grades? Am I going to get in sixth form? Am I going to then be able to get good grades to get into university? And you do your application for university. The next thing to worry about is the interview for university. Then the next thing to worry about is getting into university. Then the next thing to worry about once you've gotten into university is all the assignments and all the overwhelming things and fitting in and all of this and stuff. And the sad thing is you forget your present moment. You forget to actually enjoy and take in all the amazing people you have around you, or you know, your health, all these things that we take for granted. We forget about those things because we're constantly worrying and in a cycle of I need to do this, I need to do this, or like, am I going to be able to do this to a level that is going to be acceptable, that I'm going to be successful in. And you know, it's crazy because now I'm in my last few months of university, and it's like all of that for nothing, all of that for what? Now, you know, there's next things to stress about, like, you know, the relief of finishing university and wow, it's finally finished. But then now it's like, what do you do next? Am I going to stress about, you know, personal state for masters, and then trying to get into masters, and then doing a year of masters, and then looking for a job and doing the job applications and constantly worrying about things, when it's just like, look around, stop for a minute and just appreciate God's creation and appreciate all these beautiful things. Appreciate your health and all these amazing things that we take for granted, the people around you. Because sometime in the future you might look back and be like, I wish I just actually really appreciated what I had around me at the time, but instead I was so focused on other things that just didn't matter. Or I lost so much sleep over things I worried about that I actually ended up fine in the end. There's no point of putting all the stress of the future and all the stress of, you know, a specific outcome you want to happen on your present time. Not only are you going to stress about it later, but you're putting more stress on you now, the present time that you actually can rest. By the way, whenever I speak about, like, you know, topics, and when I do these topics, or whenever I preach, or like trying to encourage people, which you've probably seen on my shorts or TikTok or whatever, a lot of the time they're actually topics I'm struggling with, so it's encouragement for myself, or it's things that I've been through and struggled with, and then want to encourage you from my experience. So yeah, that's where all of this is coming from. My phone ran out of storage. We're back now. Now we've acknowledged to let go of control and just leave it. Just be and appreciate everything. But we don't just let go of control and let the universe take care of it. No, we let go of control and we give it to God. The next thing is to trust God has what you can't control under control. We're forgetting, for us Christians, that we don't believe that what is in front of us isn't already set out for us. We already know that we have a future and a God-given plan set out for us. God can see the whole of the life, the whole of our life. Like, it's, I'll give you some imagery for this. It's like, if you're a participant in a football match and you're a football player, you can only see so far, like you can only see what's around you and the people around you. But for someone in the audience, they can see the whole pitch, they can see all the plays, they can see everything that's happening. And that's what it's like with God in a, not completely obviously, but that's a good way to describe it with God. Like he is watching it from a view that we can't see. We can only see so much. We can only see right now, but God can see tomorrow, he can see after tomorrow, he can see 2 years, he can see 10 years, he can see the whole lifespan, guys, and he's planned everything already for us. So us as Christians, we believe that God already has things set out for us, and he has a purpose for us, and he's training us right now. And our struggles and our difficulties are not just happening for no reason. They're training us, and they're making us who we are and who we're meant to be for God and for the people around us. Everyone around us is placed there specifically for us and for our purpose and our plan. And having that knowledge is something that should really help trust in God, and just to not worry as much. Having that knowledge should help us not to worry as much, because we know that, you know, there's literally the creator of the universe, not the universe, the creator of the universe, who is actually ordained and planned our whole path. And our God is trustworthy. And there's 100% points in your life where you've thought, wow, this has to be God. Like, think back to those moments where when you know, like, this has to be God, or wow, this was literally God all over. Like, even if you try so hard not to believe that God has your back, just think back to those times, because there were definitely at least one or two or multiple times where you'd be like, this has to be God, this is a miracle from God, like I know it, like this was God. And think back to those times to encourage you that that is still the same God. He will encourage you and will move you forward. And yeah, like, honestly, like, please don't think I'm perfect with this. I'm really not. For me, yeah, it was definitely anxiety throughout my whole, you know, university. I had a lot of anxiety, assignments wise even, which brings me onto my final point. Live for today. Live now. Stop thinking about the future so much. Think about who you are, how you're treating other people, how you're approaching different situations, how you're reacting to different situations, whether that's something life throws at you or other people throw at you. How are you reacting? I said this leads me to my next point when speaking about university, because although I didn't really enjoy my university experience, maybe I'll speak about it in the future, but it wasn't for me. I pushed on to come this far to my final year of university. But one thing I will say was that I learned so much that I'll be able to take to the rest of my life. And one thing in particularly concerning worry that I learned was I feel like shown to me through assignments. Now in uni, we all know the workload, guys. In anything, the workload sometimes just makes you feel so overwhelming, and you'll look at your calendar and all the assignments you have in a month and you'll be like, I can't do this, like, or I literally don't want to do this, I have no motivation to do this. But the thing that really helped me was I would literally just take one assignment at a time, and this might be like so obvious, but no, literally like disregard all the other assignments and focus on whatever's closest to do. If one's due next week and then one's due in 2 weeks, one's due in 3 weeks, focus on the one due in a week and disregard all the other ones. Just focus on that one and don't even think about like the full picture of how much you have in a month, but just zoom into the day, zoom into whatever you have next week, focus on that, submit that assignment. Cool, phew, that's out the way. Next assignment. Focus on the assignments and take it as steps, literally as steps going up. For example, use this imagery just came to me right now. Literally, as you're going up each step, you're picking up a block, and then you're going up the next step and picking up that block on that step. But you don't stay on one step and just gather all the blocks on each step. No, you take it one at a time, and that is what helped me. Like, take one step at a time, take that block off that stair, put it behind you. Next step, take that block, put it behind you, and as you go along, it's just so much smoother, guys. You're not juggling everything in one. Yeah, that example just came to my head. I just thought of that now. Instead of me just focusing on how much I had in the month or how much I had in general, like, because like even when you just look at it, it just immediately like flushes anxiety in you, flushes worry in you, to the point where you don't even want to do it. You're just like, actually, I'm not going to do this, I'm not even going to attempt it, I'm not even going to start it. But if you just zoom in, guys, just stop looking at the whole thing for now, just zoom in to the one thing, take it one at a time. It helps so much. Now I'm going to include some verses that are particular for what I'm speaking about for the live for today point. And these are all in Matthew 6. So these are the words of Jesus himself. In the Lord's Prayer that Jesus shows to the disciples, he says, give us today our daily bread. Now, notice how he says, give us today our daily bread. He doesn't say, give us tomorrow our daily bread. He doesn't say, give us next week our daily bread. He says, give us today our daily bread. Give us the bread that we need for today. We can re-pray that prayer tomorrow as well and say, give us today our daily bread. But we don't do it in advance. We pray it for the day. Give us today our daily bread. I found it so interesting that he talks about today, give us today our daily bread. He doesn't say give us today and tomorrow and no, just give us today our daily bread. It shows that, you know, he wants us to just worry about now and not so many other things. Matthew 6 verses 34. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Do not worry about tomorrow. He said, don't even worry as close as tomorrow. Like, don't even worry for something as close as tomorrow. Just worry about today. Each day already has enough trouble of its own. Tomorrow will worry about itself. It will worry about itself. There's so much you can do for tomorrow. Obviously, do what you can, but don't worry about tomorrow, about the things that you can't even do anything about anyway. Do you know what I mean? Tomorrow, if you have an exam, do what you can today to revise. But when it is tomorrow and you've submitted that exam, you can't worry about it anymore. Don't worry about the date when the exam's going to come out and what you're going to... Don't spend your time worrying about that. And I think it's really amazing that Jesus has said that. Like, I love Matthew 6. I love Matthew 6, guys. Matthew 6:27. Can any of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? Worrying is so pointless. If anything, you're removing hours from your life because you're occupied by worry and you're not taking in life. You're just thinking and thinking. You're removing hours out of your sleep because you're just thinking. But realistically, there's nothing the worry is actually going to do. It's going to do nothing. And so take Jesus' words. Do not worry about tomorrow. It'll worry about itself. Give us today our daily bread, because I'm living in today. And by worrying, can I add any hours to my life? No, I can't. If anything, it's going to do the opposite. So I'm going to live for today. I'm going to enjoy today. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope it encouraged you in some way. And I just have it in my heart to just post encouraging content. I know there are so many people out there who need to be encouraged, and I just want to do it. Like, I just feel like that's what I'm called to do, and I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy encouraging people. I know that it might have encouraged one person, and that's what matters. So yeah, I will try to be consistent with this this new series that I've had in mind, and hopefully I'm gonna try, by God's grace, to do one video a week. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this series on worry and fear. I can definitely do more. Worry and anxiety, I think I'm gonna name it. And I can definitely do more topics. If you have any topic recommendations or something that's been on your heart or something you're struggling with, please comment it down below, and I'll be so happy to deliver a video on that topic for you. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Honestly, I really appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this helped you. Love you guys, and take care.